The result was expected, though what it means is hard to predict. A minority win for the centre-right GERB party of former Prime Minister Boyko Borisov must now be converted into a governing majority in Parliament. That means coalition talks. The problem is that the only two parties GERB could turn to have already said they won't support a return to power for the party that resigned government following a wave of national protests against falling living standards and rising levels of official corruption. So if neither GERB nor the second-place socialists can form a coalition, it may be that Bulgaria is forced back to the polls in a few months' time. In the meantime, with politics apparently stalled, fresh momentum, fresh challenges could come from a patchy but still determined street protest movement. Joanna Ivanova is one of its members. Do you foresee the possibility of more protests in response to this political situation?
Yes, for sure I do, because I think that the situation is the same as before the protests we did, and our intentions are the same as before the protests and before the elections. We want big changes in Bulgaria, and nothing changed yet.
The 12th of May early parliamentary elections.
And if there is to be another round of elections, there are other challenges to overcome after multiple allegations of electoral fraud.
I think it's a crisis of mistrust. I think that's fair to say. People need to have faith in their political leaders. They have to have faith in their political institutions. And whenever there's an allegation of the type that we've seen here, it breeds mistrust. But the important thing is that those allegations are dealt with in an effective manner as quickly as possible to restore that confidence in the system that they have here in Bulgaria.
Mistrust in politics, just one of many problems for a country struggling through economic hard times and uncertain of what comes next.
And Jonah joins us live now from Sofia. Bulgaria really unsure of what's actually going to happen next. Talk us through the options of what could happen.
Well, I have to say, you get the sense that there isn't a sort of major scramble for power going on here. There have been no big declarations, no big victory speeches. Boyko Borisov himself has been uncharacteristically quiet since the close of polls. His own party, GERB, has come out and said, well, look, if there isn't going to be a workable coalition, we don't mind going into opposition. The socialists, second in the running, have said that if they are asked to form a coalition, well, the head of their party won't be the Prime Minister, and no one is showing any great appetite for coalition. It's as though there's a sort of reluctance to take on the problems and the issues that this country faces, particularly in such a divided and frankly quite unrepresentative political environment. Most people that you talk to voicing any opinion seem to think that there is no chance of a government emerging as a result of this election, and that the best thing to do is to simply go back to the polls and try again. But frankly, in the absence of any new political faces, new ideas emerging in the interim, it's pretty hard to see that there can be any other outcome.
It is strange, isn't it? Nobody seems to want the top job from what you're saying, and this is a country that desperately does now need good economic government.
Yes, absolutely it does. I mean, this is a country that is going through turbulent times, but think back just to 2007 when it joined the European Union with such high hopes, such high expectations that it would achieve great things. Well, straight away the economic crisis hit. It's hit Bulgaria particularly hard. The GERB government of Boyko Borisov that was voted in 2009 put a squeeze on public spending, froze pensions. This country has the lowest salaries in the whole of the European Union, high inflation, high unemployment. It desperately needs stable government to reassure investors and get the economy going again, but that isn't on the cards, not yet anyway.
Jonah Hull live there in Sofia for us. Thanks, Jonah.